Standing today, so you can come up to the top of your mat. Start to settle in. Shift the weight back and forth in the feet. Feeling the connection between the soles of the feet and the mat. Maybe shifting side to side. Making any little movements here that feel good. Pick up all the toes and try to place them down one by one. And when you're ready, starting to spread the weight out among the whole feet. Feeling each corner of the foot press down into the ground. Feel the crown of the head reach up a little bit higher, letting the shoulders relax down the back. You can close the eyes if it's comfortable, or just having a soft gaze in front of you. Letting the muscles in the face release. Letting the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. And taking a few moments here just to do nothing. Allowing your body to feel the way that it feels. Acknowledging any thoughts that are running through the mind. Without any judgment or need to change anything. Start to bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing the inhales and the exhales. Letting the breath get a little deeper. Feeling the next inhale in a little longer. Filling the belly, filling the torso up with air. On your exhale, letting it go. Feeling the body release. Feet sinking down a little deeper into the ground. Continuing to watch how your breath moves through the body. Finding a rhythm that feels good to you. And moving with that throughout the practice. Taking a couple more breaths here. Setting an intention if you'd like. Just continuing to notice whatever comes up. When you're ready, starting to open the eyes. And on an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, folding in, letting yourself hang over the legs. Taking any arm position that would feel good. Letting the crown of the head drop. If it would feel good, you could add movement, pedaling out the legs or swaying back and forth. Or you could stay more still, just feeling the weight of the upper body over the legs. And taking another breath here. And then bending into the knees, letting the belly come to the thighs, starting to roll up to stand. Feeling the feet press the ground away, the torso comes more upright. Rolling the shoulders down the back, opening up through the chest. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. One more time, inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Taking the hands behind the back of the head, interlacing the fingers, letting the head fall back into the hands, feeling the chest open up, keeping the elbows out wide. Taking one more breath here. Inhale, lifting back up to stand, releasing the hands and interlacing them behind the low back. Pulling the hands down and away from the low back, opening up the chest, gaze can lift up as well. And then exhale, folding forward over the legs, maybe having a slight bend in the knees. And the hands could stay towards the low back, or they could reach up towards the ceiling or out in front of you. Taking another breath here. And then letting the arms release down. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, moving back to plank. Lowering all the way down to your belly. Inhale, lifting the chest up off the ground. Maybe lifting the hands up as well. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, releasing the hands down, pushing yourself back into child's pose. Letting the hips come back towards the heels. Arms could stay reaching out in front of you, or you could add a different arm position if it would feel better. Forehead could reach down towards the mat or to another surface. Taking a couple breaths here, feeling the breath in the back side of the body. On your next inhale, starting to pull the body forward, coming up into table, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Starting to move your cat-cow a few times at your own pace. Letting the inhale, draw the chest forward. On your exhale, rounding through the spine. As always, you could add in any other movement side to side or rolling through the torso if that would feel good. Taking another breath or two here, starting to find your way back to table. From here, inhaling the right arm out in front of you, letting the left leg come long behind you. Reaching through the right fingertips and pressing through the left heel, finding a little bit more length. On your exhale, bring the elbow in towards the knee, rounding through the spine. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, bring the elbow towards the knee. Inhale, lengthening out. And last time, bring the elbow in towards the knee. Inhale, lengthening out, staying long here or starting to bend the back leg, reaching for the left foot with the right hand. And if you have the foot, you can press the foot into the hand, letting the chest lift up. Wherever you are, continuing to stay with your breath. Taking one more breath. If you have the foot, releasing that, letting the arm and the leg come back long. Letting the right hand come down, keeping the left leg lifted. Taking it out to the side, letting the sole of the foot come down to the mat. And then starting to walk the hands back in towards you, standing up onto the right knee, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhaling the left hand come down the left leg, reaching the right fingertips over. Breathing into the right side of the body. Taking one more breath here. And then inhale, lifting back up through center. Letting the right hand come down to the right, reaching the left fingertips over. And then if you'd like, you can lift the left leg. You could also bend the left leg, reaching for the foot with the left hand. Drawing the chest forward again, pressing the foot into the hand if you have it. Good, taking one more breath here. Releasing the leg back long, letting the sole of the foot come down, pressing into the right hand, lifting yourself back up, letting the hands come out in front of you, coming back into table, bringing the left shin back towards the ground. And then second side, inhaling the left arm out in front of you and the right leg back behind you. Taking a breath or two here, finding your balance, finding a little bit more length, reaching through the fingers and pressing through the heel. And on your exhale, drawing the elbow towards the knee, rounding into the spine. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthening out. And last time, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthening out, staying here or bending the right leg, reaching for the right foot with the left hand. And if you're grabbing the foot, pressing the leg into the hand, drawing the chest up and open. Feeling the connection between the right hand and the ground and the left shin in the ground. Taking one more breath here. Trying to release if you have the foot, letting the left arm come down, letting the right leg come out towards the side. Starting to walk your torso back in, lifting up, sweeping the arms overhead. Letting the right hand come down, the right leg reach and the left fingertips over. Breathing into the left side of the body. Taking one more breath here. And then inhale, lifting up through center. Letting the left hand come down to the left, reaching the right arm over. You can stay here, you could lift the right leg up, or you could bend the right leg, reaching for the foot, drawing the chest forward again, staying with your breath. Taking one more breath where you are. Letting the leg extend back long, letting the sole of the right foot come down, pressing into the left hand to lift yourself back up through center. Letting the hands come down in front of you, walking yourself back out to table, bringing the right shin back down. From here, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, starting to make movements that feel good in the body. Shifting the hips, pedaling out the legs. And then from here, bring both of the heels over towards the left side, toes facing towards the right. And still sending the hips up and back. Coming back through center, sending both heels over towards the right, both toes over towards the left. Again, pushing the hips up and back. Coming back through center. And then starting to look forward, bring the feet up in between the hands. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, moving back to plank. Lowering yourself down. Inhale, lifting into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here. Letting the heels sink down, lifting the hips up and back. One more breath in downward facing dog. And then starting to look forward, bring the feet up in between the hands. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. One more time through that. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, full, planting the hands, moving back to plank. Lowering yourself down. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths here again. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing through the entire hand. Taking one more breath. And then starting to look forward, bringing the feet up in between the hands. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, stepping the left foot to the back of the mat. Lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. On an inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Interlacing the hands, letting them come behind the back of the head. Starting to tilt back, letting the head rest in the hands, lifting the chest up. Option to keep the elbows wide or to bring the elbows towards one another, towards parallel for a bit of a stretch in the back of the arm. Taking one more breath in the back bend. And then inhale, lifting up, bringing the hands down to either side of the foot. Tucking the back toes, lifting the back leg, stepping the right foot back to meet the left. Lowering yourself down. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the left leg back behind you. Stepping the left foot forward in between the hands. Lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, interlace the hands, letting them come behind the back of the head. Starting to let the head rest back, lifting through the chest. Deciding if you want the elbows out wide or if you want them towards parallel. Letting the lower body sink towards the front heel. Letting the upper body reach out of the hips. Taking one more breath here. And inhale, lifting back up. Letting the hands come down to either side of the left foot. Tucking the back toes, lifting the back leg. Stepping the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing them down by your sides. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, stepping the right foot to the back of the mat. Lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, interlacing them behind the back of the head. Tilting back, lifting the chest up. Staying for one breath here. And then inhale, lifting back up, letting the hands come down to either side of the foot. Starting to shift the hips back, straighten them out through the left leg, sending the chest forward. Taking one more breath here. And then bending back into the left knee, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling them down to either side of the foot. Tucking the back toe, lifting the back leg, stepping the left foot back to meet the right. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the right leg back, stepping the right foot forward in between the hands, lowering the back knee down and untucking the toes. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, interlacing them behind the back of the head. Starting to tilt back, opening up the chest. And taking one breath here. Letting your next inhale lift you back up, releasing the hands down to either side of the foot. Starting to strain through the right leg, sending the hips back, sending the chest forward, keeping the spine long. And taking one more breath here. And then bending back into the right knee, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling the hands down to either side of the foot, tucking the back toes, lifting the back leg, stepping the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, lengthening halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, releasing the hands down by the sides. Inhale, bending into the knees, sweeping the arms up, sitting back into chair. And releasing the hands behind the low back, pulling the hands down and away, opening through the chest. Taking one more breath here. Exhale, releasing the hands and fold forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, moving back to plank. Lowering yourself down. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the right leg back behind you, bending the knee, opening up through the hip. Making movement here if it feels good, or leaving the leg up and open. Taking one more breath here. Straightening the right leg back behind you, and drawing the right knee across the body towards the left elbow. Inhale, straightening back. Exhale, stepping the foot forward in between the hands. And on an inhale, raising up, high crescent lunge. Deep bend in the front knee. Working the front thigh towards parallel with the ground. Taking one more breath here. Opening up, warrior two. Trying to keep the front thigh right where it was in high crescent lunge. Reaching the fingertips away from one another, letting the shoulders relax down the back. Starting to reverse your warrior, tilting back, reaching the right fingertips up overhead. Breathing into the right side of the body, letting it expand with each inhale. And on your next exhale, cartwheeling the hands down to either side of the front foot. Stepping back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the left leg back behind you. Bending the knee, opening up through the hip. Again, movement here if it feels good, or just leaving the leg up and open. Letting the right heel drop down towards the ground. Taking one more breath here. Straightening the left leg back behind you. Drawing the left knee across the body towards the right elbow. Inhale, lengthening back. Exhale, stepping the foot forward in between the hands. On your inhale, raising up, high crescent lunge. Taking a couple breaths to find your balance here. Deep bend into the front leg, relaxing the shoulders down the back. Keeping the deep bend in the leg, starting to open up, warrior two, grounding the back foot, opening yourself up towards the side. Reaching the fingers away, letting the shoulders relax. One more breath here. And then starting to reverse your warrior, tilting back, reaching the left arm overhead, leaving the lower body exactly as it was. Taking one more inhale here. On your exhale, bring the hands down to either side of the foot. Stepping back to plank. Moving through a vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, starting to walk the hands back towards the feet. Coming into a forward fold at the back of your mat. You can take any arm position here that would feel good. You could just let yourself hang. You could also take your first 2 fingers and thumb around your big toes and pull yourself in a little closer. You can step on the hands, letting the palms turn up, the back of the hands on the mat. We'll be here for 3 to 4 breaths. Anything that would feel good. Taking one more breath in your forward fold. And then starting to make your way up to stand. Rolling the shoulders down the back, opening up through the chest. Feeling the feet on the ground. And then starting to shift the weight into the left foot, coming onto the toes of the right. Starting to open up through the right hip, pointing the right knee towards the side. So the toes could stay on the ground the whole time. They could also come up to the shin, or you could place the foot higher up on the thigh, coming into tree pose. Finding a spot that feels good. Option to take the hands behind the head and invite a slight back bend. If that doesn't feel good, you could bring the hands to heart center or just reach them overhead. Feel the right foot pressing into the left leg, then the left foot press into the ground. Taking another breath here. Lifting back up to center if you're in a back bend, hugging the right knee into the chest. And then starting to bring the hands down to the mat, letting the right leg reach back behind you, coming into standing splits. Reaching the right heel up towards the ceiling. Taking another breath here. And then starting to walk the hands out towards the top of your mat, coming into 3-legged dog with the right leg lifted. From here, bending the knee, opening up the hip. Option to continue flipping, letting the right foot come down behind you, right arm reaching up, chest reaching up towards the ceiling. So flipping from the twist. Right leg keeps flipping, comes down behind you, chest lifts up, right hand reaches up towards the ceiling, hips reaching up. Awesome. Taking one more breath here. Bring the right hand back down to the mat, reaching the right leg back behind you. And then drawing the right knee towards the left elbow, extending the right foot over towards the left. Letting the pinky edge side of the foot come down. Starting to reach the left arm up. Great, taking one more breath here. Letting the left hand come back down, pulling the right leg back through and up, 3-legged dog. And then stepping the right foot forward in between the hands. Inhale, raising up, high crescent lunge. Opening up, warrior 2. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, coming into side angle. Forearm could come to the thigh. Hand could come to the inside of the leg. Left fingertips up towards the ceiling or reaching overhead. Pinky edge side of the hand. Reaching down towards the floor if you're reaching it overhead. Continuing to turn the chest open. Imagining that you could roll it up towards the ceiling. Taking one more breath here in side angle. And then letting both hands come down into the inside of the right foot, coming onto the back toes. Letting the back leg come down to the ground. Coming into lizard, you could stay up on the palms. You could bring the forearms down, either to the mat or to something in between. Finding a spot that feels comfortable. And then seeing what you can release here. Let the crown of the head drop, relaxing through the neck. Relaxing the muscles of the jaw. any point you'd like to roll to the pinky edge of the right foot, letting the knee fall open, feel free to do that. Taking another breath where you are. Bring the sole of the foot back to the mat if it isn't already. Then leading the left hand down, reaching the right arm up, coming into a twist. Option to stay here in the twist, or if you'd like to add in the back leg, you can bend the left leg, reaching back for the foot or the ankle with the right hand. Taking one more breath in your twist. And then starting to release the hands back down to the inside of the foot, tucking the back toes under and lifting the back leg up. Stepping the right foot back to meet the left. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, walking the hands back towards the feet. Again, taking a few breaths here. Any arm position that would feel good. Noticing any differences you feel between the two sides of the body. And then when you're ready, starting to make your way up to stand. Feeling your feet when you get there, pressing both into the ground. Feel the crown of the head reach up. And then starting to shift the weight into the right foot, coming onto the toes of the left. Turning the knee open, creating that turn in the hip joint before you start to bring the foot up the leg. And then placing it anywhere that you'd like. And again, option for the hands to come behind the head and invite a small back bend, or take them anywhere else that would feel good. Feeling everything hug in towards the midline of the body. Then the left foot press against the right leg pressing back against the foot. Taking another breath here. Starting to lift up if you're in a back bend, and then hugging the left knee in towards the chest. From here, starting to reach the hands down, left heel reaches up, coming into standing splits. Feeling the left heel reach up as high as you can. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to walk the hands out so that you're in three-legged dog with the left leg lifted. From here, bending the leg, opening up through the hip. Option to stay here, or if you'd like, continuing to flip, letting the left foot come down behind you. Reaching the left arm up, reaching the hips and the chest up towards the ceiling. And taking another breath here. And then letting the left hand come back down, reaching the left leg back up towards the ceiling. In other direction, bringing the left knee across the body towards the right elbow. Letting the leg extend out towards the right pinky edge side of the foot coming down. Grounding the back foot, starting to lift the right arm, reaching the chest and the hips up towards the ceiling. Taking one more breath here. And then letting the right hand come back down, swinging the left leg back up. Three-legged dog. Stepping the foot forward in between the hands. Inhale, raising up, high crescent lunge. Opening up warrior two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, coming into side angle. Again, any version that you want. Forearm could come to the thigh, or the hand could come down to the inside of the leg. Right arm could reach towards the ceiling, or it could reach overhead. wherever that right arm is, pulling the right shoulder down the back, away from the ear. Taking one more breath here. And then exhaling, both hands come down to the inside of the left foot, pivoting onto the back toes, lowering the back leg down to the mat. And then finding your hip stretch on this side. Could be on the palms, it could be on the forearms, could be on one of each. And this side might feel a lot different than the first side, so making any adjustments that you need to. Once you find a good stretch, seeing what you could release in your body, letting go of anything that doesn't need to be working here. And if at any point you'd like to roll to the pinky side of the left foot, let the knee open up, feel free to do that. Taking another breath or two here. And then starting to come back up onto your palms. Bring the sole of the foot back down to the ground if it isn't already. Leaving your right hand down, starting to reach the left arm up, coming into a twist. You can stay here in the twist, or if you'd like to add the back leg, bending into the right leg, reaching for the foot or the ankle with the left hand. Taking one more breath in your twist. And then starting to release both hands back to the inside of the foot, tucking the back toes and lifting the back leg, stepping the left foot back to meet the right, moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, shifting yourself out into plank. And then coming down onto the forearms, coming into a low plank. And then coming all the way down to the belly, letting the elbows stay underneath the shoulders. Forearms parallel to one another, pressing into the entire forearm and into the hand. Imagining that you could draw your chest through the upper arms. Taking another breath here. And then starting to bring the left arm over at a diagonal so that it can support your weight in front of you. And then you'll bend the right leg, starting to reach for the ankle with the right hand. So the right thumb will be facing down towards the ground, and it'll be on the outside of the foot. From here, starting to press the foot into the hand, lifting the chest up any amount, maybe lifting the thigh up off the ground. Focusing on pushing the leg into the hand to help draw the chest up a little bit more. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to release down. Switching the arms so that the right arm is in front. Add a bit of a diagonal to support yourself. And then starting to bend into the left leg, reaching back with the left hand for the ankle, thumb facing down, grabbing the outer ankle. And then from here, pressing the foot into the hand, lifting the chest up. The lower thigh might come up off the ground. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to release back down. Pausing for a moment. And then if you'd like to try bringing both legs in, seeing if you can reach for the ankles at the same time. And if that is something that feels okay in the body and you want to lift up, pressing the feet into the hands, starting to let the chest lift. If it doesn't, feel free to stay right where you are. Taking one more breath and then starting to release yourself down. Maybe making a pillow with the hands, resting the forehead down. Could windshield wiper the legs from side to side if that feels good. Taking one more breath here. And releasing the legs back, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, starting to push yourself up into plank. And then lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhaling the right leg back behind you. Bending the knee, opening up the hip. Option to bring the right foot all the way behind you, lifting the right arm, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath here. And then bring the right hand back down, lifting the right leg back up, three-legged dog. Drawing the right knee across the body towards the left elbow, letting the leg extend out towards the side. Grounding the back foot, starting to reach the left arm up, reaching the hips up towards the ceiling. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, releasing the left hand back down, right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping it forward in between the hands. Inhale, raising up, high crescent lunge. Opening up, warrior two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, coming into side angle. Taking a breath here. And then starting to look down about 6 inches in front of the right foot, starting to move the right hand out in front, shifting your weight forward, stepping into the right leg, lifting the back leg up, coming into half moon. Trying to stack the hips on top of one another, reaching the left fingertips up, flexing through the left foot. Taking one more breath here. And then starting to land in warrior two, bending into the right leg, letting the left foot step down. Reversing your warrior, tilting back. And exhale, cartwheeling the hands down either side of the foot. Moving back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Last side, inhaling the left leg back. Bending the knee, opening up through the hip. Option to continue to flip, letting the left leg come down behind you, hips reaching up towards the ceiling, left arm reaching up. And then bring the left hand back down, left leg long behind you. Drawing the left knee across the body towards the right elbow, extending the leg out, letting the pinky edge come down, grounding the back foot, reaching the right arm, reaching the hips up. Taking a breath here. Exhaling the right hand, come back down, left leg long back behind you, three-legged dog. And stepping the left foot forward in between the hands. Inhale, raising up, high crescent lunge. Opening up, warrior two. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Exhale, coming into side angle. Taking a breath here. And then starting to bring the gaze down, looking in front of the left foot, starting to walk the left fingertips forward, shifting the weight forward into the left leg, pressing up off the right, stacking the hips on top of one another, reaching the right hand up. Flexing through the back leg, keeping that leg just as engaged as the standing leg. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly releasing into warrior two. Setting the back foot down, extending the arms, tilting back, reversing your warrior. And exhale, cartwheeling the hands down either side of the foot. Moving back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa or heading straight to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, letting the knees come down to the ground, letting the hips sink back towards the heels, coming into child's pose. Letting the forehead rest down on the mat. In any arm position you'd like, the arms to stay extended, or you could bring them back by your sides or bring the hands to prayer behind the head. Taking a few moments here to check in with the breath. Letting everything slow down. Taking one more breath here. Starting to walk the hands back in. Shifting the hips to one side, bring the legs out in front of you. And then hugging the right knee into the chest and letting the right knee open up, sole of the foot coming in towards the thigh. Finding a little bit of length in the torso, and then folding out over the left leg. Taking one more breath in your fold. Starting to lift back up. Hugging the left knee in, bringing the right foot over towards the left hip. Letting the left foot come to the outside of the right knee. And then taking a gentle twist around towards the left. Letting both hips sink down towards the ground. So on your next inhale, starting to come back around to center, extending both legs out long, and then hugging the left knee into the chest, letting the knee open up, sole of the foot coming into the thigh, finding a little bit of length, and then folding forward over the right leg. On your next inhale, starting to lift back up, hugging the right knee in, scooching the left foot over closer towards the right hip, stepping the right foot to the outside of the knee, and then taking a gentle twist around towards the right. Letting both sit bones reach down towards the mat. On your next inhale, coming back around to center, releasing the legs, and making your way down onto your back. If there's any other poses or shapes in the body that you'd like to make before coming to rest, feel free to take a minute or so to do those. whenever you're ready to find stillness again, letting the body come to rest in any position that's comfortable for you. Let the eyes close. Let the body release whatever it can, feeling yourself fully supported by the ground beneath you. And giving yourself permission to do nothing for the next few minutes. I'll bring you out of Shavasana when it's time. Start to notice your breath. Notice how the body feels. Noticing anything in your awareness. When you feel ready, starting to make small movements with the fingers or the toes. Gradually letting those movements get bigger. Starting to bring more energy back into the body. Eventually making your way up to a comfortable seat, taking as much time as you need to get there. And on an inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead. Exhale, letting the hands come down through your heart center. And taking a moment to thank yourselves for practicing this evening. Namaste.